And we're live. This is a re-recording of a previously recorded webinar. Unfortunately, in our live webinar this afternoon, the audio did not record. So I'm just going to go through what we covered, and I will also be able to show you the questions that were asked and answer them as well. So thank you and welcome. Thank you for joining, and welcome to the first edition of the Lakeland Business Leaders webinar. This is going to just be an overview of the Lakeland Business Leaders, and I'm just going to jump right in and get started. Since it's just me, I don't need to slow down and wait for anybody. So the background of the Lakeland Business Leaders and where it all began. Everybody wants to know how long ago this got started and why I decided to create this group. So I'll go ahead and give you a little bit of the backstory. My partner Craig and I joined the Chamber of Commerce as a different company than we have right now in 2009. Marketing System Blueprints was the company that we founded and started, and we joined as chamber members in 2009, and immediately I joined the Leads group. So regularly every Tuesday I was attending the Chamber Leads group meetings, and because I live in the digital marketing world and my business is all about the internet, I had an idea that we could expand what we were doing and really reach a lot more people and help our businesses more if we were able to bring the concept of the Leads group to the internet. And so with a core group of members, about 10 or 15 of us, kind of through the relationships that I had built through the course of my networking through the chamber, I kind of shared my vision and explained to everyone that I could talk to what I was thinking, and a lot of them nodded their heads and said, "Yeah, I think that's a great idea." So just with an idea, I started a Facebook group, and from that core group of members of about 50 people, we've expanded now to over 3,000, and led us to create some really great opportunities for a lot of great people, and I'm really excited about all of the things we've managed to do. So that's how Lakeland Business Leaders got started. And so now I'm just going to kind of jump into what I wanted to cover today, which was talking about freemium and premium members. I use the term freemium instead of free because I believe that when I use the term free, it means that it doesn't have a lot of value. And I believe that everyone in Lakeland Business Leaders has access to a lot of value. The Lakeland Business Leaders Forum has access to a lot of value. And so that brings me to what a freemium member is. And a freemium member is someone who is in the LBL forum on Facebook. A freemium allows anyone who has an interest to have access to this local resource. It gives everyone a chance to connect. Everyone can come in and ask questions, seek referrals, post in search of, looking for a local business who can help with business-related questions, non-business related questions. It's just a way for everyone in the community to have a place to go and ask questions, and typically 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, have opportunity to connect with another human being. But with the growth of the group, obviously we've had to initiate some guidelines, aka the rules. And so I'm going to go over those next. And we'll see. Yes, okay. So the rules of the Lakeland Business Leaders Forum, and these are the guidelines that are posted inside of the group when you look at the About section of the group in Facebook, that only premium members can promote. And when we talk about what promoting means, it's anything that's related to letting people know that you like my Facebook page, or promoting an event, or recruiting direct sales members for your business, or even selling tickets to your events, or things of that nature. Anything related to promoting your business or promoting your organization. Premium membership is not exclusive to just for-profit businesses. It is also something that nonprofit businesses or nonprofit organizations can take advantage of. However, we do have a gray area, and that is when there are community events that are just for the greater good of all, and it's free for the community. For example, the fireworks this weekend. Things like that are just for the greater good of the community. There isn't any requirement for people to pay to promote those kinds of events. So then we just kind of go into the general housekeeping of what the expectations are of the people that are in the freemium Facebook group. And it kind of goes back to kindergarten. A lot of things that we learned when we were younger really apply today. So being kind is number one. If it's not something that you would say to your grandmother, or you would say to your mother, or you would want someone saying to your mother or your grandmother, then we really ask that you don't say it in our forum. There are plenty of places where you can go be authentic and say whatever you want, wherever you want, however you want, but LBL Forum is not one of those places. And so in rare occasions I have deleted disrespectful, obnoxious posts or comments that just were not serving the purpose of what we were trying to accomplish. That also goes with any kind of statement. Now, a lot of times people will say to me, well, Chris-Ann, you think that bad things, we can't share bad things. I'm not saying that you can't share bad things. I know that there are places for those that are created for that purpose. And so I am only suggesting that we use this forum to promote the general good of the community. And if you need to vent or share anything negative or write a bad review or report something to the Better Business Bureau, then by all means go for it and do so. But we don't do that in the Lakeland Business Leaders Forum. I use the example that if someone were saying something about you and you were not there to defend yourself or to stick up for yourself, how would you feel if you knew that no one was going to say anything about it? And so we know that while there are people who are in the group, there are also people who are not in the group. And so to make it fair across the board, we just don't bash in the Lakeland Business Leaders. So if you have a dispute, our guidelines say handle them directly. I don't want to get into the middle of people's problems or issues. So if something happens between you and another business or you and another member, taking it up with them and making sure that everything gets handled professionally is the best route to handle. Being a generous contributor just means coming into the community with the attitude of what can I bring? What can I offer that can make this community better or stronger? If you have resources to share, if you have inspirational quotes to share, but overall, in general, it just means being responsive to other people's questions and queries and being an active, involved member. There are a lot of people who have expressed to me that they are very engaged in the conversation, but they just don't actively post or comment, and that's perfectly fine too. You're still being generous by being a member of the audience, and so we really enjoy and appreciate you as well. Be original, honest, and ethical. Original simply means don't copy somebody else's stuff and say it's yours. Don't use somebody else's information without giving credit to where it came from. Honest goes without saying, but I obviously feel like it's important to mention. And ethical, this is a business community, and so if you're doing, if you're using the right practices for your business, then it's going to be possible for your business to live long and prosper. Spam is not allowed ever. It will always be removed. Spam just typically is a link, no conversation, nothing to add to the conversation. Here's a link, here's a link, here's a link. So those will be removed and there will be no dialogue or conversation to follow. I do typically allow a new member or someone who's new to the community, I will send them a private message. If it is in violation of the guidelines that they are not a premium member and they are promoting, typically will remove it and send them a message. Spam, however, I will not send any messages. They will just be deleted, and if it continues, the user will be removed from the group permanently. Caveat emptor, basically we're just saying be accountable. I know that it feels like this is a safe, wonderful community of people, but with 3,000 people, there are no guarantees that we can provide you that every person in the Lakeland Business Leaders Forum is going to be honest and ethical. So do your research, do your due diligence, make sure you're hiring licensed contractors, make sure you're hiring legitimate businesses with licenses to do business and can handle the work that you're hiring them to do. And there is just nothing else that I can say other than vet these businesses that you're hiring and ensure that you are safe, that your family is safe, and that you're not hiring or bringing in anything into your company or into your home that would not be a future benefit for you. And then the last, it's not really a rule, but understanding that not everyone is right for LBL. This just means that, if you're not a part of the community for the greater good, if you're here to just take, if you're here to try and steal opportunities for free, or to poach, or to bring negative energy into the community, then maybe LBL isn't right for you, and that's okay. There are definitely always places for people to enjoy themselves, and then there are places that not everybody just not everybody enjoys it, so it's okay, and then there's nothing wrong with that. So then we have the common issues, and these are some questions that just kind of arise in the part of the guidelines, but I wanted to address them. Um, some people ask me, why did my post get deleted? And typically, if there's any deleting going on, it is me, so I know if a post has been deleted or not. And most of the time, what has happened is that the posts just get lost in the shuffle. So a couple things to note about how posts get seen, and best practices for making sure that the information you share is seen and engaged with by others in the group. As you know, in Facebook, if in a Facebook group, if someone posts something and nobody engages with it, and new information is added, then that post goes down to the bottom. But if someone were to engage on that post, some people like to call this bumping the post at the top, then you can see it, and there's more likelihood for it to be seen. When you're in Facebook groups, most Facebook groups default to showing you the posts from your friends, and you actually have to go into your group settings and say, I want to receive no notifications about this group, or I want to see all of the notifications about this group. But by default, when you enter a new group, you will only see posts by your friends. So if you don't have a lot of friends inside of the group, your posts probably won't be seen by very many people. And so therefore, the basis of everything that we do is about the relationships, the strength of the relationships, and the reach that you're going to have in posting is that you have those connections and people are in support of you. It's not my rules, those are Facebook rules. That's just the way it works. Lakeland Business Leaders is powered by premium members, but it's not limited to just premium members in LBL. So by becoming a premium member, you're not guaranteed to just get every single referral that exists. I'm a firm believer that if the relationship is strong enough, that the referrals will come. However, that doesn't mean that other people can't have opportunities to be brought into the conversation. And if you want to share referrals from people who are not premium members, that is acceptable as well, because I believe that there's no way to just completely control this group. This group is not about me or about just premium members. It's about the greater good of all in the community of Lakeland. The final common issue is that a lot of people come in with the attitude of, I want to sell, I want to sell, I want to sell, and I want to sell. That's a sure way to be ignored. Typically what happens is, people will just not engage so that they don't have to see, and eventually the people who have the attitude of buy my stuff either get bored because no one's having a conversation with them, or and leave. So we aren't all about selling, and we aren't all about promoting. And so if you want success in LBL, you'll want to be part of the conversation as opposed to trying to sell somebody your stuff. Okay, so that's all we needed to talk about as far as freemium. Now we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about premium. And so premium membership, before I talk about the benefits, I wanted to talk about kind of what the overall picture of premium is from my perspective. And from my perspective, it's a mindset. And the mindset is that relationships trump transactions. In other words, sometimes we will let a business transaction go so that we can keep a relationship intact. We're not trying to close the deal, close the deal, close the deal. We're looking out for the people. We're making sure that it's the best option for them. We're not just selling them in spite of the fact that it might not be the tool or the resource that they need. We're really willing to say, you know what, I might not be the best company for you, but let me refer you to somebody else because they can probably take better care of you than I can. Those are the kinds of mindsets that really permeate the air inside of Lakeland Business Leaders. And so when premium members join, that's the attitude. That's their philosophy, and that's what a premium member kind of espouses. Premium is for those who want more than just a traditional networking community. We're definitely able to do a lot more because we have the online component, and it's not just restricted to live events. But really, again, it's about this mindset of building these solid, meaningful, ongoing relationships that are going to set our businesses up for long-term success. And again, I will say that premium membership is not for everyone. It's not a perfect fit for every single business or every single person who comes through the quote unquote doors of LBL Forum. Being a premium member is a $97 annual investment, and it is not just an investment in yourself or your business, but also in your community. And I say in your community because I have premium members who say, Chris-Ann, I just believe in what you're doing, and I'm going to invest my $97 because I want it to continue. I want it to be successful because I think this is good for Lakeland. It's good for our business community. They're not necessarily going to get their business doesn't necessarily see any value as far as referrals coming because maybe they don't have a locally facing business, but they definitely want to be involved and have the opportunity to connect and build these relationships. So now let's get into the benefits. The benefits of premium membership are after you become a premium member, you have free access to what breaks down to 9 networking opportunities every month. That's a breakfast every Tuesday at 8 a.m. and a lunch every Friday at 12 p.m. and then one networking social that we call meet and greets at the end of the month, usually the last Thursday of the month. We have obviously holidays and things like that change these numbers a little bit, but for the most part, every month there's 9 networking opportunities. You also get a business listing on Lakeland Connection, an exclusive option to promote an LBL. And that's an option. So not every LBL premium member promotes themselves, but there is that option at whatever time a premium member decides they want to share specials or promotions or things that are going on with their company. And then we're offering exclusive advertising opportunities just for premium members in order to get more exposure outside of the walls of Facebook and getting into the community and being a part of the activities that are going on throughout the community. And one more benefit that I didn't put on here, it's a recently added benefit, but it is access to the LBL members only group. And that is, you can search on Facebook for LBL members. And if you are a premium member and you haven't joined that, I really encourage you to get in there. That group is different than the forum in that it is member to members and it is not designed for promotion. It is truly designed for being able to have a little bit more of an intimate conversation, a little bit more safeguarded. If we're all in there with the same mindset of LBL, then it's more likely that we can share a little bit more intimately or ask some questions and get some really good conversations going in there. So make sure that if you're a premium member and you haven't joined LBL members that you jump right in there and let everybody know that you're there. So I mentioned in the last slide the Lakeland Connection, and I wanted to talk a little bit about that. Lakeland Connection does not replace Lakeland business leaders, but I felt that over the course of time, I've heard many people tell me, well, Chris-Ann, I'm not a business leader. Why should I join Lakeland business leaders? And I really want to get away from that stigma. However, I continue to feel the value of us having business-to-business conversations. So Lakeland Connection is a way for us to have a public-facing community where anyone, whether they're on Facebook or not, whether they're a business leader or not, whether they own a business or if they're just a young recent graduate or a stay-at-home mom, they would feel like they would be welcome into the Lakeland Connection. It is accessible to everyone, and it allows us to have a place for us to publish our LBL business listings and gives the option for people who are interested in blogging or creating events to do so in a permanent place. And I say permanent because that's really the biggest benefit, is that the stuff stays organized and doesn't disappear into the black hole that is Lakeland Business Leaders on the forum with thousands of things happening every week. And then the last thing is that the content that is posted on Lakeland Connection is indexable by Google and other search engines. So if there's posts added there, our business directories, blog posts and whatnot, people Google searching would be able to find them. So if you do a Google search for Lakeland fire assessment fee that is right now being voted on by the City Commission, you'll be able to see a link to the Lakeland Connection because there was a blog post added there about that. So that's just something for you to think about as far as the Lakeland Connection's value to the greater good. And then the big question everybody asks is, why another website? We all like Facebook, Chris-Ann. Why are you making us go to another website? And the biggest reason is we don't own our content on Facebook. As a business owner, you don't own your content that you post on Facebook. and I don't own anything that's going on inside of the Lakeland Business Leaders group. So I have no rights to it. I have nothing that I can do to take it away from Facebook. So building my own community on my own server, my own website, is more valuable to me in the long run for a sustainable business. Also, because I want to meet the demands of others who aren't on Facebook. There are people who say, Chrisanne, I'm not on Facebook. How do I get involved? And if all I'm doing is promoting these events that are on Facebook, there's never really going to be a bridge that will be created between those that are on Facebook and those that are not. And again, the permanent place for content. If you go on Lakeland Connection and want to find something, there's a really wonderful search bar, and you can find anything, anytime anything has been mentioned or anything any one particular person has posted before. It's fabulous, and it's set up in just such a way that it's easy to get to that information quickly. So what's next with LBL? I'm always looking forward, so there's a lot of great things coming down the road. We've added 2 wonderful interns. They're doing a great job in helping keep the business listings updated. You should have received an email today. The emails are going to be coming on a regular basis. We're going to be offering some really great content coming forward. Next month, or actually this month, July's meet and greet is actually a fundraiser for Campfire. It's the annual Campfire Wingding event, and this one is not a free premium member event. It is actually a $10 ticket for adults, $5 for children, but it does get you into the Lakeland Flying Tigers game that is that evening, as well as a bunch of wonderful, yummy tasting wings. And there will be sponsorship tables available for businesses who want to have vendor table at the event. And I will be sending information out about that as soon as I solidify all of the details. I don't have all of the details in place at this point in time, so I can't give that information to you yet. And the cool t-shirts are on their way. We're working on getting the final design for all of the sponsors, and everyone's going to have one of these really cool t-shirts, because I truly believe that it is the people that make our city awesome. So what is the city but the people? And this is a Shakespearean quote from his play Coriolanus and our Love Lakeland hashtag. So I'm going to open it up to questions, and basically what's going to happen now is I'm going to bring a little chat box up, and I'm going to show you the questions that were asked in the previous event. So let me get that going. Oh, so maybe not. All right, so I wrote down the questions that were asked. The first one was from Diane Rieger, and she asked, when are premium memberships due? When does a premium member renew? And the answer is, from the date of your membership, you have 365 days, and after that, your renewal will be up. If you are not familiar with whether or not what day you signed up, you can reach out to us at intern@lakelandbusinessleaders.com, and we can look up your renewal date and find out when that is. But basically what we're doing is you'll send, when you're on your renewal date, you will receive an invoice that says, your premium membership is due, and you can pay online or you can mail in a check. So the next question that Diane had was, how many people are eligible inside of one business's premium membership? And we felt like it was important that one membership covered more than just one individual person. So an LBL premium membership offers 2 people in the organization access to the events, and that could be both of them coming to breakfasts, lunches, and meet and greets, or it could be one or the other coming to the event in place of the other. So that's awesome. We always encourage when one member can't attend that they send someone else from the organization to participate. If there's a need for more than 2, a corporate membership would make more sense. That means that the corporate membership also applies inside of the group, which would allow more than just the 1 or 2 members of the organization to post to promote. So if you have a bunch of people and you think that they are all going to be engaged and involved, corporate membership might be the best option. And then the last question we answered was from Melinda Rinker. She said, I realize we all take on the responsibility of the people we hire for anything, whether it's from here or not, here meaning the Lakeland Business Leaders. What happens if there is a serious issue with a member? Is there any recourse or help through LBL? And the answer to that question is no, not readily. I think that having a conversation directly and again going back to the guidelines with the person If that doesn't solve the problem, then of course bring the information and documentation to me and let me know what's happening, and then possibly I can, see if there's something that we can do. I do have a retainer with an attorney so that I can, if need be, I can get involved. But for the most part, that's not my role. And you really have to do your own due diligence and make sure that you're hiring companies that you feel safe and confident will get the job done and are going to take care of everything that they need to do to take care of you. So with that being said, I think those were the only questions that came up in our live webinar this afternoon. And we're hoping to have additional webinars in the future. We're just going to let the content be driven by you guys. So if you have questions that you have about Lakeland Business Leaders, or if you have ideas that you want to share, please share them with us. Let us know what information you'd like to have for webinars. And this month, the month of July, we will be at Kate Lake's place, at my office and more for our breakfasts, and our lunches will be at the Lakeland Brewing Company. So we're going to have a great opportunity to connect. We're going to have some really great content coming. Really excited about the Lakeland Economic Development Council. We're going to have one of our breakfasts this month, and also the Central Florida Development Council. So we're going to kind of get big picture visions of what's going on in our community in Lakeland as well as in Central Florida. So stay tuned for all of those. Let me know if you have any questions. If you are looking for some assistance with your membership, getting things set up, making your directory listing isn't showing up, or any of those possible problems, then I'm going to type in here the email address that you're going to want to use. That is intern at lakelandbusinessleaders.com. So I want to give a really big shout out to Tony Ponsetti for allowing me to use this software to have this webinar today. And if you have any questions again, please reach out and let us know, and we will be having more webinars in the future. Thank you, and have a great holiday. Have a happy 4th of July, and we will see you next time.